This show is brought to you by Safety FM.
The gates of earth won't let you out. This is where you fall down. You weren't ready when heaven rained down in a storm cloud. Oh, don't let your feelings out. Every word you speak on the back page, dripping in a joke in a seascape. In your love shell, you weren't ready to meet the angels. When you fall, then it don't. When you care, then it won't. You weren't ready when heaven rained down. When you fall, should've cared. When you see
rated MA-LSV. It contains strong language, sexual situations, and violence. It is intended only for mature audiences.
Finally, show with the balls to call it like it is. Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
Countdown to audio torture.
The Rated R Safety Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Let the eardrum pain begin.
Forget the corporate bullshit. This is the Rated R Safety Show with your host, Dr. It doesn't matter who the host is.
Oh, yes, hosting and who it is and all that kind of fun stuff. I don't think it's ever mattered. What's always mattered is who is on the other side of the equation, which is you. So anyways, how are you? How was the weekend? Not the group or the band or the singer or whatever the hell he goes by. How was it? Did you have fun? Did you do things that you thought were going to be life-changing? No, seriously. You know, when you ask that question, people go, well, what kind of dumbass question is that? Well, it's not. It's everything that you do should be life-changing to some extent. Because everything that you've done has gotten you to the point that you're at right now. Anyways, let's not get into psychobabble right away. Let's start talking. Today is Monday, September the 25th of 2023, day 268th of the year. And yes, we are finally there. Double digits, 97 days left to go. Yeah, 97 days left to go. What do you think? 97. Did you think we would get here? Yep, that's where we're at. 97. So there you go. Good stuff there. Anyways, we are broadcasting from the Safety FM studios in Orlando, Florida, and coming across the multiverse known as Safety FM. And then we are hanging out with our friends and colleagues at that other place.
Radio Big. USA, Canada, UK.
Yes, hanging out on Radio Big, across the multiverse of things that they do over there. So it's always a fun time as we get to do that. There is no doubt about it. So don't worry. There's a. So yeah, that's it. So a lot of stuff to talk about. A little bit of time to do this. Now I'm going to tell you because I referenced it last week, and I want to reference it this week. This week is going to be a weird one. So let's see. Tomorrow, if you're in Orlando, it's Safety Day 2023, presented by the Alliance for Central Florida Safety. That's at the Rosen Plaza. And then if you're in Orlando on the 27th, 28th, and 29th, which is the Conklin Conference occurring at the Rosen Plaza as well. Apparently the Rosen Plaza is the place to be. And we're not even talking yet the stuff that we're going to be doing here in October at the Rosen Plaza, but we'll leave it at that. We'll talk about that here in a bit, what Mr. Wiseman is doing with some of the DOT stuff at the Rosen Plaza. So you can start to see that that's kind of going to be our destination if we can pull it off, that it's going to be there, the things that we do. Anyways, with that being said, so let me tell you, what we're going to do this week is we're going to broadcast live tomorrow for the Alliance of Central Florida Safety. what we'll do is we'll be there throughout the day. So if you go to the vendor section, we'll be there hanging out if you want to come by. Mr. Posel is flying in from Nueva York to come and hang out with us and do the stuff over there. And then, of course, Wednesday through Friday, like I said, we'll be at the Conklin Conference. We'll have several hosts over there. Posel will be there. Conklin will be there, of course. Andrea Baker and Matt will both be there. So, we got some things going on. If you're intrigued or interested, you're more than welcome to come by, hang out with us, and do the stuff that we'll do. The broadcasting live from the Conklin Conference will be kind of questionable, but I'm sure we'll get a lot of content in regards to that. So be on the lookout tomorrow throughout periods of the day. Now, what does that mean for our Rated R Safety Show? Maybe that's the question to ask. I don't know. Let's just be realistic. I don't know. That's what we'll have to look at. We might be able to do part of it live. We might not be able to do part of it live from the event itself, but we will keep you posted in regards to what needs to happen, okay? So we'll just do it that way. Sound fair? Fair. Okay, cool. I like the fairness. It's coming across the board. Anyways, interacting with the show, simple process of doing so. callinradio.com will get you right here. We'll get you right here into our system, video, text, and audio. So that's kind of the fun stuff that we get to do over there. If you're not familiar with our show, well, let's get you familiar with it. We talk about safety in the news and safety. That's pretty much it. We bring in some pro broadcasters, and they talk away about what the hell's going on. Yeah. Listen to how simple that became. Simple process there. Simple revolutionary acts. That's what it sounds like to me. So there you go. Some stuff going on inside of the Aqua Zone. So there you go. So with that being said, why don't we start talking right away about what the hell was trending over the overnight and the weekend.
Here is what was trending. Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, so when I look at the trends of the ends, space rock returns to Earth and a missing toddler is found with her 2 dogs at her side. So we'll talk about that. Former President Jimmy Carter attends the Plains Peanut Festival, and Britney Spears' Mercedes-Benz is for sale. We'll talk about that. Mean Girls, the musical, is heading to theaters, and September the 22nd is now Jersey Shore Day. Don't ask me what happened there, but that's what it is. And we'll talk about some stuff that's going on inside of the world of the safety, and we'll bring in our professional broadcasters that will definitely tell you what the hell is going on inside of the world. No, seriously. We'll talk about all that in that. So there you go. Some stuff going on there. So we got the pro broadcasters waiting right there to tell you exactly what is going on. So are you ready? Are you ready? Because if you're ready, I'm ready, and I think we should get rolling and bowling. So let's do it. Let's get you into the news right now.
Here is the news on the Rated R Safety Show.
President Biden is set to join the United Auto Workers picket line this week. He'll travel to Michigan Tuesday to stand in solidarity with the men and women of UAW as they fight for a fair share of the value they helped create. It comes as the union recently expanded its strike to 20 states after no substantial progress was made with the big 3 automakers on a new contract. UAW workers say they want a 40% pay increase, cost of living adjustments, and pensions for all workers. The House GOP conference is continuing negotiations to come up with a legislative plan to avert a government shutdown. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy says he's optimistic that some sort of deal will be worked out ahead of the September the 30th deadline.
Look, I work with anybody who wants to work with us, but I haven't heard a lot of people across the aisle that wants to secure the border. Biden seems as though that he wants to shut down if he can keep the border open. I think the real thing to do, let's keep government running and shut down our border.
The renewed push comes after 2 previous efforts to unite Republicans around a stopgap funding resolution failed. GOP leaders are scrambling to try and pass 4 of their full-year funding bills this week before making another attempt at a short-term measure to keep the government running. Many Americans are not thrilled about the prospect of a Biden-Trump rematch in 2024. Trey Thomas reports.
An NBC News poll shows that more than 40% of those surveyed said they had very negative feelings towards both candidates. Pollsters say 74% expressed concerns about President Biden's age, while 60% worried about the president's knowledge or possible connections with his son Hunter's business dealings. Of those surveyed, 62% have concerns over Trump's 4 upcoming criminal trials. I'm Trey Thomas.
And Steelers quarterback Kenny Pickett passed for 235 yards and 2 touchdowns as Pittsburgh took down the Raiders 23-18 on Sunday Night Football in Las Vegas. Pittsburgh improves to 2-1. The Raiders fall to 1-2. I'm Mark Mayfield.
Listen at your own risk. Rated R Safety Show.
From Feature Story News in London, I'm Ollie Barrett. Screenwriters in the US say there's a tentative deal with studios that could end a long-running strike. The Ukrainian military says Russian missiles struck the port city of Odessa, destroying grain silos. The first asteroid sample collected in space by NASA has arrived on Earth, and the Philippines has hit out at China for placing a floating barrier in a disputed part of the South China Sea.
Here is another bit for our competitors to copy. Rated R Safety Show.
A U.S. senator from a border state says if you think the border crisis is bad now, watch what happens if there's a government shutdown.
Border Patrol agents are not going to get paid. This is going to, if we think it's bad today, just think about what that looks like.
Speaking on CBS Face the Nation, Arizona Democrat Mark Kelly said it will become far worse if the thousands and thousands of Border Patrol agents are forced to stay home because of a shutdown. Congress has until September 30th to pass a bill for President Biden to sign. American support for Ukraine in its war with Russia seems largely split along party lines. A new ABC News Washington Post survey released Sunday finds 41% think the U.S. is doing too much to support Ukraine, up from 33% in February. Half said the U.S. is helping the right amount or not enough. Broken down by party affiliation, 58% of Republicans think the U.S. is doing too much, compared with 22% of Democrats. The chair of the Republican National Committee hopes that former President Trump will take part in at least one of the 2024 presidential debates.
I want him to attend a debate, and he knows that. Everybody knows. I think the other candidates also want him to attend a debate.
Speaking on Fox News Sunday, Ronna McDaniel urged Trump to appear at a debate before the primary voting begins in January. Trump skipped the first Republican debate in August, and he announced he'll be in Detroit this Wednesday instead of at the debate. 2 tickets for seats at the theater where Abraham Lincoln was assassinated have sold at auction. Originally 75 cents apiece, the tickets were for the play Our American Cousin on April 14, 1865. The same night Lincoln was shot. He would go on to die the following morning. The tickets were auctioned off over the weekend in Boston, selling for over $262,000. And the 4th Expendables movie is opening to a franchise low in theaters. The action-packed movie starring Sylvester Stallone, Jason Statham, Megan Fox, and 50 Cent raked in $3.2 million on its opening day. It's now projecting a weekend debut far below the $15 million that studios initially expected. Mark Mayfield, NBC News Radio.
You are listening to something magical. You're listening to the Rated R Safety Show.
Well, you know that here at Safety FM and Radio Big, we're always trying to look for life hacks. So with the busy season just around the corner, you might be looking for wholesome, convenient meals for your jam-packed days. Factor, America's #1 ready-to-eat meal kits, can help you fuel up with fast chef-prepared, dietitian-approved, and ready-to-eat meals delivered straight to your door. You'll save time, eat well, and stay on track with your healthy lifestyle. Refresh your healthy habits without missing a beat. Choose from 34 weekly flavored packs. Dietitian-approved meals ready to eat in 2 minutes. All you need to do is head over to factorsmeals.com/safetyfm50 and use code safetyfm50 to get 50% off. That's code safetyfm50 at factormeals.com/safetyfm50 to get 50% off. Go there. Do it now.
Is your safety training old, stale, and hacked? Is your safety trainer still preaching a warped version of behavior-based safety? How about safety training that actually addresses your hazards in your workplaces and is not standardized baloney from 25 years ago? Contact the Safety Wars team at safetywars.com or call Jim Posel at 845-269-5772. Remember, if you're receiving this message, you are the solution to unsafe workplaces.
Safety in a way never heard of before. The Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
This portion of the show has been sponsored by Private Internet Access, America's #1 virtual private network, or VPN. Even if you use incognito mode, internet service providers is storing your browser data and many times even selling it. But Private Internet Access, or PIA, can help you. PIA encrypts and reroutes your internet traffic through one of its own servers, hiding your data from your internet service provider or network admin. And with servers in over 75 countries, you can get unrestricted access to geo-blocked content from around the world. PIA comes with easy-to-use apps and browsers extension for all devices, a rock-solid privacy policy, open source security, advanced customization settings, and it was just ranked the fastest VPN in the world by PC Magazine. And if you sign up right now with PIA, you can take advantage of a special deal only for Safety FM listeners. Only by using the following link, you can get the digital privacy for less than $2 a month. Yes, you did hear me correctly, less than $2 a month, and an extra 4 months for free. So that means for only $1.98 a month and 83% off, you can get this service for you right now. That's so much more inexpensive than virtually every other VPN on the market. And if you get it right now, you can take PIA's 30-day risk-free challenge. You can try it out for 30 days, see if you like it, and if not, just return it for a full refund. So just go to safetyfm.com/VPN. That's safetyfm.com/VPN to try out the best VPN on the planet completely risk-free. Now remember, safetyfm.com/VPN.
More sarcasm than a Mortal Kombat beatdown. Rated R Safety Show.
Let's start using cutting-edge warp speed 5G technology with your cell phone. Let me tell you about my friends at mobilemobile.io. They have an ultra-fast 4G LTE and 5G network that covers 99% of Americans. So they've got you covered everywhere. Think about it for a moment. You have the opportunity to take a test drive for 10 days with unlimited talk, text, and premium data. What is premium data? Premium data is an allotment of a cellular data that you receive from a higher priority on the network. You won't get throttled like you will with some of those, well, non-brand service providers. To find out more information, all you have to do is go to mobilemobile.io. That's mobilemobile.io to start your 10-day free trial.
Hello. Listen to our host of the Rated R Safety Show. Self-implode on our airwaves. Only on Safety FM.
Yeah, let's self-implode on Radio Big and on Safety FM because that doesn't sound wrong at all. Anyway, so there you go, 18 minutes past the top of the hour, and now we are about to get onto the verge of the shit list. So let's do this. NASA's first asteroid sample landed in Utah desert on Sunday to conclude the 7-year journey. In a flyby, the OSIRIS-REx spacecraft released a sample capsule from 63,000 miles out before setting off to research the asteroid, which it will be reached in 2029. Scientists believe that the capsule holds about a cup of rubble from the carbon-rich asteroid known as Bennu. Yeah, the contents are the biggest haul of substances beyond the moon, and it will help scientists better understand how Earth life is formed. A public show and tell is being planned for NASA next month, and this is according to NASA. I mean, that would be a great person to let you know. I'm going to tell you about my show and tell, but I need to tell you what's going on. So anyways, a picturesque road in Vermont has been closed during a peak foliage season to avoid stampede of influencers and traffic to the area. After several complaints of heavy traffic, drones, and people trespassing on private property to get the perfect shot of social media, the select board voted to close Cloudland Road from September the 23rd to October the 15th. Vermont has some of the most synonymous with fall on social media, especially on TikTok, where some influencers get paid thousands of dollars to film on the Cloudland Road, which is where the Sleepy Hollow Farm is located. This is via Insider. So if you were planning to go out to Vermont to go to Cloud Road, now you know. And terrible tourists, meanwhile, across the country at Point La Jolla and parts of Boomer Beach in California have been closed for the next 7 years after negative interaction between humans and sea lions. The beaches were previously closed from May to October for pupping season, when moms and their newborn pups bound nurse and learn to swim, but tourists still couldn't stay away. This is via The Insider as well. Apparently, we're getting a lot of stuff from The Insider today, is the way that it sounds like. So there you go. The Insider. So there you go. Anyways, a 73-year-old woman believed to be asleep on her flight from London to Nice was actually dead. Yeah. Upon landing, passengers on the plane became concerned after not being able to wake her up from sleeping. Emergency services were called, but paramedics were unable to revive her. It is believed that she suffered a heart attack mid-air. This is via connection. Now, let me explain something to you. Unless things have changed significantly, she wouldn't have been able to have been pronounced dead until they landed anyways. And here's the other weird part. These are all terrible things that I'm about to say. If the plane would have been packed, they couldn't have moved her. Yeah, think about that.
We at Safety FM are not responsible for what this idiot behind the microphone is saying. He is trying to be entertaining. Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, a toddler's best friend, a missing 2-year-old, was found sleeping with her 2 dogs in a wooded area off of a hiking trail in Michigan last week. Thea Chase was reported missing after she had wandered away from a home in Fathorn, which is located about an hour from the Wisconsin border. After 4 hours of searching, Thea was found sleeping using her family's English Springer as a pillow while their Rottweiler stood guard. Despite the cool weather that evening, Thea did not appear to have any injuries or health concerns. Her 2 pups likely kept her warm. This is via CNN. Wait, are they not chipping kids anymore, like with the LoJack stuff, to find out where kids are located? Is this not something that's done anymore? I'm just asking the question. Don't get mad at me. Anyways, Fat Bear Week is back. The annual event created by administrators at Katmai National Park in Alaska celebrate the local community of brown bears who are fathering up for the weather. Or fattening up. How are they fathering up? Fattening up for the winter. From October the 4th to the 10th, the public can vote on who they think is the meatiest bear is. To see who is in the running, the bear brackets will be posted on October the 2nd at fatbearweek.com. Yeah, that's fatbearweek.com. By the way, the boys typically weigh between 1,000 to 1,400 pounds, while the girls weigh between 700 and 800 pounds, according to the ranger, Naomi Boak. I'll take her word for it. I don't know if I want to get close enough to find anything out about any of that information. I'm just saying. What do you think? Yeah. A lot of stuff there. That is for sure. What else do we got going on? Let's take a look around. Not weddings. Let's talk about box office stuff because we are coming out of the weekend. So why not talk about movies? Take a listen to this. Oppenheimer was at number 10 with $1.6 million, which I still can't see what's the release date for that on video on demand, but we'll see. Blue Beetle came in at number 9 with $1.8 million. Dumb Money with $2.5 million at number 8. It Lives Inside at number 7 with $2.6 million. My Big Fat Greek Wedding $3 million at number 6. Barbie was at number 5 with $3.2 million. The Equalizer was at number 4 with 4.7. Oh, sorry, that's Equalizer Part 3. Let's see, what else? A Haunting in Venice was at number 3 with $6.3 million. Expendables 4, yeah, because I think it's something weird that's supposed to be called. But it was at $8.3 million. And The Nun Part 2 came in at number 1 with $8.4 million. So I don't know. Some interesting stuff going on inside of the box office. I will tell you, I went to go see that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie with my kids a few weeks ago, and I was hanging out on Paramount Plus over the last few days and saw that the thing's already there. It's like, it is so not worth, my opinion, going to the movie theater because it's that quick that they're turning around and being available on streaming platforms. It's like, by the time that you figure out how much money you paid, you're going to go, what the F? Yeah, what the F was I doing paying that kind of money to go to the movies. I'm just saying. I mean, think about it for a moment. Anyways, let's get into some money matters because I'm talking about money at the time. So let's do this. Let's go ahead and bring in Erin Ryal. I'll let her tell you what the hell's going on.
President Biden is joining the United Auto Workers picket line. Brian Shook reports.
Biden tweeted that he was going to Michigan Tuesday to stand in solidarity with the workers as the fight for a fair share of the value they helped create. This comes after UAW President Shawn Fain announced earlier this week he would send more workers to the picket lines if substantial progress wasn't made with the big three automakers on a new contract. Union workers say they want a 40% pay increase, cost of living adjustments, and pensions for all workers.
A bipartisan House caucus says it has one objective as the clock winds down on the September 30th funding deadline.
64 of us came together last week and put out a solution, including a continuing resolution to keep the lights on in the government and not hurt people, not hurt our military, not hurt our seniors, not hurt our veterans.
Speaking on CNN's State of the Union, New Jersey Democratic Congressman Josh Gottheimer and Pennsylvania Republican Congressman Brian Fitzpatrick say they are pushing to get a Keep America Open bill on the House floor in time to avoid a government shutdown. Gottheimer and Fitzpatrick are co-chairs of the bipartisan Problem Solvers Caucus, which is made up of 32 Republicans and 32 Democrats. Fitzpatrick says the caucus is trying to do what's in the best interest of all Americans to keep the government running. President Biden is hosting a summit of leaders of Pacific Island nations. Scott Carr has more from Washington.
It's part of what's being called a U.S. charm offensive to cut off further inroads by China in a region Washington has long viewed as its own backyard. During a 3-day meeting, the Biden administration will announce official diplomatic recognition of two Pacific nations, Cook Islands and Niue. The U.S. will also promise new money for infrastructure, including an improvement of internet connectivity using undersea cables. The Pacific Island leaders are also being honored at an NFL game. Dozens of players in the NFL are of Pacific Islander heritage.
With consumer and business news, Erin Ryal, NBC News Radio.
Okay, thank you, Erin, for the information, because, that's what's exactly going on there. Anyways, the Dow lost about 106 points to close at 33,963 on Friday. The S&P lost about 9 points to close at 4,320, and the NASDAQ lost about 12 points to close at 13,211. West Texas Intermediate closed at $90 a barrel on Friday, and Brent crude was at $92 a barrel on Friday. The national average price of a gallon of gas was $3.85. Bitcoin was trading around $25,505, and there was more than 3,387 flights delayed within, into, and out of the United States on Sunday, and more than 91 such cancellations. And Tuesday's night's Mega Million drawing will be for $230 million jackpot, or $100.78 million cash payout. Tonight, Powerball drawing will be for $785 million jackpot, or a $367 million cash payout. So if you want to play the game, you have the opportunity to do so. What do you think? A lot of stuff. There you go. Did you hear about this rumor that was going around? Let's talk about this. More bad news for the 90 Kids, as the insider told TMZ that rumors of NSYNC, the Backstreet Boys, and Destiny's Child performing at the Super Bowl, well, they're not true. Been there, done that. The ladies of Destiny Child reunited to perform at the Super Bowl in 2013, and NSYNC Justin Timberlake performed at the big game in 2018 and 2004, and later, which being in the infamous Nipplegate that occurred back with Janet Jackson. Yeah, and for all of those that will be performing in 2024 Super Bowl, the NFL announced on Sunday that the person that's going to be performing is Usher will headline the event. This will be his second time performing at the big game. He made an appearance at Super Bowl XLV back in 2011. So there you go. That would be 45, just in case. So there you go. So a lot of stuff. What do you think? Are you going to have some fun with that? I don't know. Some people are probably going to be pissed off. I got something for you to take a listen to, and then we can kind of go through it and figure out what the hell's going on. But free COVID tests are available online. Folks that will be able to order free COVID tests online starting today. Brad Siegel has more. Take a listen.
The federal government is relaunching its program to provide free COVID tests now that most insurance companies aren't covering the cost. With the expiration of the pandemic emergency declaration this past spring, each household can now order up to 4 tests online at covidtest.gov. As for the unused tests you still have at home, don't throw them out. Even if the expiration date is passed, health officials say check the lot numbers because many of those dates have been extended and they'll be listed on the website as well. I'm Brad Siegel.
I wonder when food manufacturers will start doing that. Oh yes, take a look at the lot of the allotment. We might extend it there. So there you go. Take a listen to that one. This one today. You can start, like I said, start ordering the test online. But infectious disease specialist Dr. Mary Jo Trepka says the federal government is relaunching its program since most insurance companies aren't covering the cost of the pandemic is officially over. Take a listen.
Because they are expensive and people should take advantage of them.
She says it will cost you at least $10 per test out of pocket. Each household can order up to 4 tests online. Dr. Trepka also encourages everyone to get the latest booster since the previous shots lose their efficacy over time. Infectious disease specialist Dr. Mary says that it will also be a good reminder to get the latest booster if you haven't done so already.
People's immunity does wane over time, so even if you were vaccinated before, you will benefit from this booster, which has also been changed so that it can better match what we are currently seeing.
Trepka says that she knows that there is plenty of COVID fatigue, but there's still a need to keep your guard up.
Well, I think everybody's very tired, but we have these tools that are available to us, and now the tests are going to be free of charge, so people should take advantage of them.
Weren't the tests free of charge before? I mean, I don't know. I get kind of lost. So what do you think about this? Because, I'm not going to go out here and just say, well, public opinion is, because I don't know. I mean, you hear a lot of things that people are like, I'm not doing anything with boosters. I'm not doing anything because I've already had this many jabs. What is this? I think that would be number 4, right? That's COVID shot number 4 at this particular point. So what are you thinking? Are you going to do it, not do it? I mean, hey, it's up to you on what you want to do. It's your body, right? So what are you thinking? I'm just asking the question because I'm intrigued. Remember, callinradio.com if you want to share more. You don't have to get online. I mean, you can just go online and do the messaging thing. Anyways, free public bus services is now operating at some MTA bus routes in New York City. Jennifer Polzoni has more.
The MTA launching the free fare pilot program on 5 bus routes in each of the 5 boroughs for at least 6 months. The lucky lines include the BX18 in the Bronx, the B60 in Brooklyn, the M116 in Upper Manhattan, the Q4 in Queens, and the S4696 on Staten Island. The lines chosen based on ridership, fare evasion, and equity for disadvantaged communities, among other factors. Jennifer Polsoni, NBC News Radio, New York.
So there you go. Take advantage of the system if you can. And I don't mean that in that bad, weird way. I'm just saying take advantage of, hey, it's free. So why not use it if you can't? Or if you can. Yeah, that's what I meant to say. Anyways, 32 minutes past top of the hour. Let's do that thing that we do that's called the main story.
Here is our main story on the Rated R Safety Show.
Oh, yes. It being a lovely Monday, we get to sit back and talk and do all the fun stuff that we get to do around here, because if not, we'd be doing something absolutely different. And I'm not sure what exactly we would be doing, but it would be something, that's for sure. So I was thinking about this, and that sometimes we sit back as safety professionals and talk about, hey, my upper management never listens to what I have to say. My upper management never listens, never does, never follows up, never does anything that I want to do within the organization. It's either a budget-related issue, it's a money-related issue, it is a time-related issue, it is an operations-related issue. I mean, you're seeing the pattern here. It's all these things that you're constantly saying, well, it's not going to work out because of X, Y, and Z. So let me ask you a question. What if you live in an alternate reality where it's the other way around? Now, I want you to think about this for a moment. Where nothing can be done within the organization without the involvement of the safety department. I'm not talking about safety culture. I'm not talking about safety. It's part of the operation. I am talking about the safety department. Nothing can be done. I'm talking about structuring of a new project. I'm talking about structuring of a new budget. I'm talking about doing any kind of structure, whatever, in regards of doing stuff within the organization that cannot be done without having a discussion with the safety department. You are aware that there are people that's the life that they're living, right? I'm being serious. I want you to know this because I think that sometimes we have this belief that does not exist. Now, the fun part is that I get to talk to some of those people, not as often as I talk to the people that are not getting what they want. And when I talk to them, their biggest frustration, you ready for this? Is that they feel that they can't do anything without people asking them what should be done next. Now, think about that for a moment. Most people sit around and talk about how no one will do anything that they want to do. And in this other case, we're talking where people are, oh man, nothing can be done without me. Now, I'm not saying, hey, let's have both extremes, but it does look like we do have them. But which one would you rather be part of? And, I always think about that quote that people say of, be careful what you wish, because you may just get it. Be careful what you wish, because you may just regret it. Oh, hold on. Maybe I just turned it into the Metallica song version. But you understand what I'm saying? It's interesting when the organization wants you involved into everything that is going on. But it's also interesting when they kind of don't. And I don't understand why people get upset on both sides of the equation. Seriously. Because listen to it. Listen to it for a moment. If things are not great, it's okay. If things are perfect, it's okay. But look at it. Where do you want to be? Because I don't think middle of the road is really the answer. And I don't think that you don't want people to have your opinion involved, and vice versa. It shouldn't be everything and it shouldn't be nothing. Because here's the fun part. You tend to forget this from time to time. Regardless of what your choices are, it's just like being a coach. You never fumbled the ball. You never scored a touchdown, if you want to use football analogy. And the reason that I say these things is because, listen, you can only give ideas. Doesn't necessarily mean that people are going to follow along. Think about that for a moment. It tends to drive some people crazy.
Oops! What did he just say?
We at Safety FM don't always agree with viewpoints of our hosts and guests.
Now back to real safety talk on Safety FM.
Don't go anywhere.
You're listening to the home of real safety talk.
You are listening to Safety FM. We'll be right back.
Do you have a claim and not sure where to turn? Coastal Claim Consultants are professionally licensed and bonded public insurance adjusters employed exclusively by you, the policyholder, to represent you after sustaining an insured loss. They assist policyholders in all aspects of processing the claim, working closely with the insured to provide the most equitable and timely settlement possible. They will provide you with comprehensive service, anything from inspecting the loss site, analyzing damages, compiling claim support data, reviewing applicable coverages, assessing replacement costs of damages, and negotiating your settlement. The adjusters at Coastal Claim Consultants will evaluate your claim for no upfront cost whatsoever. Coastal Claim Consultants' fee is based on contingency contracts and are paid when the insurance company sends you a check and it's in your possession. Coastal Claim Consultants are licensed to assist you in the following states: Florida, Texas, Oklahoma, Georgia, and South Carolina. For more information, go to coastal-cc.com. That's coastal-cc.com. For more information, lighting the way to recovery. Coastal Claim Consultants.
To some people, the sound of a baby babbling doesn't mean much. But that's not necessarily true. By 6 months, they're combining vowels and consonants. By 9 months, they're trying out different kinds of sounds. And by 12 months, their babbling is beginning to take on some meaning. especially if there's no babbling at all. Little to no babbling by 12 months or later is just one of the possible signs of autism in children. Early screening and intervention can make a lifetime of difference and unlock a world of possibilities. Take the first step at autismspeaks.org. A public service announcement brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
The following is made possible by Dad.
Why was the basketball court all wet? Because the players kept dribbling all over it.
The dad joke. Corny, grown-worthy, but also one of the simplest ways to share a moment with your kids.
Why do you have to be careful when it's raining cats and dogs? Because you might step in a poodle.
And kids that spend more time with their dads grow up to be smarter, more successful.
Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding.
And, with any luck, funnier adults.
Why didn't the skeleton go to the dance? Because he didn't have any body to go with.
Dad jokes rule. So take a moment to make a moment and give your kid a laugh. It's as easy as going to fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
That's really funny.
Hey, are you tired of hanging around and talking about safety in a boring kind of format? Well, I got something for you. If you haven't hung out with us yet at safetyfm.com, I'm going to encourage you to do so. Yeah, if you come out to Safety FM, you can come hang out with all kinds of safety professionals. Some are safety professionals, some are just people that are talking about safety. But we want to do it in a format that makes it fun and entertaining. If you're kind of trying to figure out what the FM portion is, well, we're a radio station and also a podcast network. You can come out, hang out, and listen to my show, The Jay Allen Show. You can listen to Todd Conklin with the pre-accident investigation, Blaine J. Hoffman with the Safety Pro, the Hop Nerd, Sam Goodman, just to name a few on what can be found on the station. Different things for different people, trying to bring safety in an entertaining form. SafetyFM.com. Go to the website, download the app, and carry it with you all day long. SafetyFM.com. We'll be waiting for you.
Safety in a way never heard of before. The Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
Time the world is wrong, we see it crystal clear, but we maintain the illusion that we all know why we're here.
Oh, yes, we all know why we're here. You are still listening to the Rated R Safety Show, hour number 1 of the Jay Allen in the Morning Show. This right here, Oceanic, When You Fall. Available on Apple Music, Spotify, and YouTube Music. We want to thank Oceanic for allowing us to play this here on the Rated R Safety Show. Oh, yes. You know how we get it started here in the morning. Hopefully, wherever you're at, it's the morning. If not, you're listening to probably on a podcast or in a different time zone. You know, because I forget about my UK peeps. We're like early afternoon. Okay, so there you go. That's what we got going on. Some Oceanic. You know I can let the whole damn thing play. It's a shorty. It's only like $2.50. Anyways, let's get into it. 44 minutes past the top of the hour. Yeah, 44. You know, I always think it's interesting when people start blowing up inside of the call-in radio aspect. It's like, don't get so pissed off about the main story. It's not that big of a deal. Some people are not happy. It's just what occurs. It's okay. People have opinions. It's okay. Some people don't like being involved with every aspect. Yes, it's the best of both worlds. It's kind of the way that it goes. Simmer down, simmer, 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 simmer down. So with that being said, let's continue going forward. And let me tell you about the most important thing that I will ever tell you in my lifetime. And that's about my friends at To Write Love on Her Arms. This is the way that it's going to go. No matter what you're facing, you deserve to be connected to help. To Write Love on Her Arms wants you to know that people have been where you are now and things can get better. To find out more information, all you have to do is go to twloha.com. That's twloha.com to find out more information. Listen, I'm going to tell you, it's real simple. Easy process. Website, twloha.com. Click on the far right-hand side on the section that says Find Help. I know it can sound difficult to do. I'm not joking as I say that because, listen, you're about on the verge of asking to change everything. For some reason, there has been some weird stigma with this type of conversation. And we need to get to the point where it's okay to talk about this stuff. twloha.com. To Write Love on Her Arms. Go to their website, click on the section that says Find Help. Listen, it can change a lot of things for you. Just keep that in mind as we are talking. So there you go. Let's continue going down the path of some other things that are happening inside of the worldo, because that is what we do around here. So put another stick in an Aussie. Yeah, the National Hockey League is trying to grow the game with a big push down under. It featured its first ever games played in the Southern Hemisphere over the weekend with two preseason tilts between the LA Kings and the Arizona Coyotes played in Melbourne. In addition, the league's expanding the street hockey program to Australia, where it's common to see games of cricket played in parks on quiet roads. The NHL street hockey program is aimed to 6 to 16-year-olds and has been used successfully in non-traditional hockey markets such as Las Vegas, Nashville, and Tampa. If popular in the Melbourne area, the street hockey program will be expanded across the country next year. And if you think that this idea is odd, consider that hockey actually has a 100-year history in the country and is a semi-pro Australian ice hockey league has 10 teams made up of the makeup of some former professional players. And hey, if Jamaica can have a bobsled team, anything can happen. And you know, there's also a field for hockey. So there's some stuff to think about. Seriously, I mean, just think about that for a moment. Think about how weird that could be, but how much fun it could be all at the same time too. So take a listen to this real quick. Tuskegee University police are working on a local law enforcement after multiple students were injured on campus shooting on Sunday. Michael Kastner has more.
University officials say the incident happened at an unauthorized party at a student housing complex. 2 campus visitors were treated at nearby hospitals for gunshot wounds. Students say they heard the gunfire and people quickly began tripping over each other trying to escape. Some students allege they've been aware of security issues at the school, claiming many visitors enter campus unchecked and gates are left open. I'm Michael Kastner.
Okay, thank you, Michael Kastner, for keeping us informed on what's exactly going on. Take a listen to this. The Hollywood writers' strike could be coming to an end soon. The Writers Guild of American Alliance of Motion Pictures and Television Producers reached a tentative agreement on a new contract Sunday night, but actor and comedian T.K. Kirkland says that he wants to see the terms.
My concern is always residuals. You want to make sure that even when you leave this earth, your children are still getting money from work that you did years ago, and that artificial intelligence can't duplicate you or be you. So I hope that it protects us in that way.
The deal still needs to be ratified by the nearly 11,000 members of the WGA. The strike, one of the longest in the union history, started on May the 2nd. Writers assistant Tom Whelan says the tentative agreement is an important step towards the SAG-AFTRA actor strike coming to an end as well.
It made me feel really hopeful for the SAG strike because it was like there wasn't even a chance with the SAG strike until the WGA strike ended. So it's at least a nice horizon, sun on the horizon.
So hold on, I'm just asking the question because I need to have a better understanding, of course. You have 11,000 people that are going to have to look over this, and everybody's going to have to agree to be able to move forward. I'm just asking because I think that's going to be a difficult feat.
Who truly cares what this guy has to say? Who gives a shit? Rated R Safety Show.
Hey, I'm just saying, don't shoot the messenger. Anyways, let's continue talking real quick about some other things that are going on inside of the world, though. Jury selection will start this morning for a murder trial that alleged serial killer Gary Artman for the death of Sharon Hammock in October of 1996. Hammock's sister, Tina DeYoung, plans to be at the hearing.
She was a beautiful soul that didn't deserve to have what was done to her.
Her body was found at the side of the 76th Street near Kraft Avenue, and the pregnant woman had been raped and stabbed. Artman is also facing charges for a death of 24-year-old Dusty Shuck. Yeah, Dusty Shuck in Maryland in 2006. Over a dozen of women in Grand Rapids area in the late 1994s and late 1996 were found, killed, and vanished, and four of them are still unaccounted for. Reverend Barry Patucci remembers the reaction to the vigil of back in November of 1996. Victims in Grand Rapids Red Light District and the Division Avenue.
Two mothers in particular who came up to me, tears in their eyes, and were so incredibly grateful that we did not forget the names and we did not forget that these were their kids.
So a lot of stuff going on there. It'll be interesting to see what exactly is going on going forward. So let's take a look at what happens there. Take a listen to this. A major blow to the California Governor Gavin Newsom. A federal judge in San Diego says the state ban on large capacity gun magazines is illegal. Take a listen.
That judge declaring the state's ban on gun chambers that would hold more than 10 rounds of ammunition violates the Second Amendment. The ban was adopted through a 2016 proposition. It's been through various appeals, even the U.S. Supreme Court, which sent it back to a lower court. U.S. District Judge Roger Benitez in his decision said there is no national tradition of prohibiting or regulating firearms based on firing capacity or ammunition capacity. State Attorney General Rob Bonta says he will appeal the decision. I'm Phil Farrar.
Okay, thank you, Phil, for the information. It'll be interesting to see what exactly is going on. Take a listen to this. One GOP presidential hopeful remains confident despite fading numbers in the recent Iowa caucus poll. Trey Thomas has more information.
South Carolina Senator Tim Scott said on Fox News Sunday he simply needs to keep spending time in Iowa.
The good news is polls don't vote, but people do. And so I need to make sure that I find myself in front of the most people as possible on a consistent basis.
A recent Fox Business poll showed Scott at 7%, down from 11% in July. I'm Trey Thomas.
Okay, thank you, Trey, for the information right there. Take a listen to this. A New York House Democrat says that New Jersey Democrat Senator Bob Mendes should resign after being indicted on bribery charges. Trey Thomas has more.
Speaking on CBS's Face the Nation, Latina Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez said Menendez's resignation is in everyone's best interest.
Consistency matters. It shouldn't matter whether it's a Republican or a Democrat. The details in this indictment are extremely serious.
AOC also called for New York Republican Congressman George Santos's resignation after his indictment earlier this year. I'm Trey Thomas.
Okay, thank you, Trey Thomas, for that. Take a listen to this. Many Americans are not thrilled about the prospect of a Biden-Trump rematch in 2024. Take a listen.
An NBC News poll shows that more than 40% of those surveyed said they had very negative feelings towards both candidates. Pollsters say 74% expressed concerns about President Biden's age, while 60% worried about the president's knowledge or possible connections with his son Hunter's business dealings. Of those surveyed, 62% have concerns over Trump's 4 upcoming criminal trials. I'm Trey Thomas.
What a fun time, huh? What a great time. Let's just talk about it in that particular fashion. Anyways, it's almost 54 minutes past the top of the hour. Let's get motivated by the Motivation Minute. Here is some John Smalls coming in to take care of you with that information on what exactly, the stuff that John Smalls does. Yeah, the information.
The Motivation Minute is courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com. Today's quote was submitted by Cole. Michael Rivero said, "Most people do not have the courage to face the choice. Hence, most propaganda is not designed to fool the critical thinker. but only to give moral cowards an excuse not to think at all. Yikes! That quote kind of hits close to home, especially if you're on social media. Have you noticed that it seems like much of the information that's pushed out has very little thought about whether or not the information is even true? I'm one of those critical thinkers who actually look into these things. And many times, I find the story to be untrue. Back in the day when I would point that out, I would usually be attacked by somebody online. So nowadays, I just scroll on. This has been today's Motivation Minute, courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com. They're known for insurance quotes. I'm John Small. Thanks for listening. Your favorite motivational quotes can be submitted for upcoming programs at motivationminute.org.
Obesity is on the rise. More from Brian Shook.
That's according to the CDC, which cites data that shows 22 states had at least 35% of adults with obesity in 2022. That number is up from 19 in 2021. Obesity is most prevalent in Louisiana, Oklahoma, and West Virginia, with more than 40% of adults being classified as obese.
A woman from Northern California had to have all 4 of her limbs amputated a month ago after eating undercooked fish. 40-year-old Laura Barajas had bought a tilapia from a market in San Jose. She cooked it at home and landed in the hospital fighting the effects of a pathogenic bacteria. Earlier this month, the CDC issued an advisory about Vibrio infections due to increasing water temps. A man in Texas died after eating oysters with the same bacteria over Labor Day. Health updates, Sarah Lee Kessler, NBC News Radio.
Okay, talking about not wanting to do anything inside of the fish market, that's for sure. Take a listen to this. Florida authorities are releasing the identity of a woman whose body was found in the jaws of a large alligator in Florida. Take a listen.
State Fish and Wildlife officials ID'd the victim as 41-year-old Sabrina Peckham. The gator was spotted Friday in a suburb of St. Petersburg with a dead body in its mouth. Game wardens later located and killed the nearly 14-foot-long creature. I'm Trey Thomas.
What a crazy world we live in, that is for sure. Take a listen to this. Back in 2018, Bill Cosby is sentenced to 3 to 10 years in jail for sexual assault. He is the first celebrity to be jailed back in the Me Too era. That was back in 2018. Let's talk about some birthdays that are going on today. Joy Sunday turns 27. Rosalia turns 31. Donald Glover, 40. T.I., 43. Catherine Zeta-Jones, 54. Will Smith turns 55, Scottie Pippen 58, Mark Hamill 72, Michael Douglas turns 79. That's some birthdays that are going on today. If you're looking at some days of the year to celebrate, well, I have some of those for you. It's National Daughter Day, National Family Day, World Dream Day, World Pharmacist Day, National One Hit Wonder Day, National Psychotherapy Day, National Comic Day, National Cooking Day, Better Breakfast Day, Binge Day, and National, well, I guess last but not least, it's National Quesadilla Day. Not a joke.
It's National Quesadilla Day. YouGov.com says 1 out of every 3 Americans eat it at least once a week. For good reason, a tortilla stuffed with gooey cheese. We've been eating them since the 16th century, invented in colonial Mexico. And today, they're the number 5 most popular item ordered on Grubhub. I'm Bree Tennis, NBC News Radio.
Okay, so if you need a phone starter for today, try this. What's the most annoying thing about grocery shopping? If you need a random joke, try this one. People always say money is not the key of happiness, but always figured if you have enough money, you can have a key made. If you need a question for the water cooler, try this. A survey found that about 1 in 10 millennials have never done this. But almost 100% of people over 50 have done it. What is it? Ride a bicycle. So there you go. Anyways, that's going to sum up our time together. At the top of the hour, I'll be going over to radiobig.fm. If you want to come and hang out with me, you're more than welcome on doing that. If not, you can stay on Safety FM and hang out with Sheldon Primus, where he talks about the world of safety consulting. So there you go. I'll be talking about music and all that kind of fun stuff and what's going on inside of the world of entertainment news at radiobig.fm. Anyways, thank you for always being the best part of Safety FM and Radio Big, and that is the listener. Without you, it doesn't make a lot of sense to do what we do around here. If I can leave you with a deep thought for today, I would love to leave you with this one. If you're not willing to learn, no one can help you. If you are determined to learn, no one can stop you. Think about that. I know who you are.
Duh.
You know who I am. Love you, mean it, and goodbye.
The views and opinions expressed on this podcast are those of the host and its guest and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the company. Examples of analysis discussed within this podcast are only examples. They should not be utilized in the real world as the only solution available, as they are based only on very limited and dated open source information. Assumptions made within this analysis are not reflective of the position of the company. No part of this podcast may be reproduced, stored in a retrieval system, or transmitted in any form or by any means, mechanical, electronic, recording, or otherwise, without prior written permission of the creator of the podcast, Jay Allen.